I'm gonna go ahead and get rolling if you guys don't mind. Um, I'm just gonna kind of first start off. I know I sent a text out to a few of you guys earlier today, just talking about what's going on this month, and I'm gonna try to start sending out that text at the beginning of the month, just to let you know what all is happening, who's coming into town, what opportunities you have to get in front of either top producers or if you're building an agency, to get in front of top agency builders. So hopefully I'll be able to keep that in front of you for the months ahead. But for what's going on this month, it was kind of a few things that were that had come up last minute. So I wanted to let you guys know about that earlier today. So this week we have tonight, which tonight is our first night with Jeff Bright. He will be getting on this Zoom link at 8:00. We're going to go for however long, until maximum 9:00, but depending on how many people get on that call with Jeff and us, we'll kind of determine where that leads. But the whole purpose of that call from 8 to 9 is just going to be how to get your productivity up, like how to help you get a little bit better every single week, and hopefully be able to bring you some helpful consistency and just gradual growth on your own time. So, and how you want to do it. So I'm really, really excited for the call tonight. Jeff, I'll kind of tell you guys who he is a little bit more towards the end of this call. I want to get through what I told you guys I would get through this evening, but I just wanted to let you know I'm really excited about that. He's taking time out of his evening, and he's on the East Coast, so his time frame is from 9 to 10. So he's staying on extra late for us, just to help us grow and to help y'all just gradually get a little bit better every week and help hold the accountability there. So I'm excited for that. Also this week, Thursday, Fitz and Heather are coming in from Dallas to come spend a little time here. They just want to get together with us. They just wanted to come hang out and do a meeting, do some training, but also just hang out. So we have the conference room blocked off for this Thursday evening from 7 to 9. So we're going to be doing a little something there this Thursday. We'd love to have you actually come into the office and get together, be with us physically, and get to meet them if you've never met them before. They're awesome. They're the newest Integrity partners, which is pretty freaking incredible. If you don't know what that means, it just means that they just became partners of the multi-billion-dollar company, and we are a part of that agency. So a lot is ahead with that, but they are the newest Integrity partners. So that's pretty cool. That'll be happening this Thursday. And then on next Monday, we're going to do the same setup as we're doing this week, our weekly team call from 7:30 to 8 that we do every week, just to kind of get together, say what's up, answer any questions you may have had from the week, do a little bit of training, and start our week off strong. And then, so that's the 6th. That'll be a normal our meeting, and then the Jeff Bright from 8 to 9 for the agents that want that more intense, in-depth training. And then on December 13th, which is that following Monday, you guys are all invited to our home. We're just going to host a little easy holiday Christmas party, just some food and drinks, nothing formal. We just want to hang out with you guys. And we just bought a new home. So figured we'd, let you guys see it, be the first ones to come see it. So that'll be fun. That'll be December 13th. In the evening, probably just be 2-hour window from 7 to 9 or 6 to 8, something like that. And then that following Monday, we're still going to do the same Monday setup that we're going to get used to doing, which is 7:30 to 8 every week. And then from 8 to 9, if you want that extra accountability from Jeff Bright. So very excited about all that is ahead. The Mondays is going to be every single Monday throughout 2022. Like, we're just going to try to keep Mondays our night to get together. So just get that in your head, your schedule, your routine. So we can have just our hub to make sure that we're staying connected with you, and also answering questions and making sure you guys are learning something. Okay. So tonight I did say that I was going to go through a little bit more about IULs. So if I told you anything about what an IUL was, I'm kind of curious as to what you thought it was. And if you want to speak up, you're more than welcome to just guess out what an IUL is. We don't know what that stands for. But an IUL is an indexed universal life insurance policy. I know there's a lot of you guys that have sold an indexed universal life insurance policy on here. So I know that this is not a new topic to some of you, but I feel like I've been getting a lot of questions about them recently. So I just kind of want to talk about maybe situations that you're going to run across that an IUL may be an appropriate conversation to start. But I will tell you, an IUL is a more advanced life insurance product. You're not going to use this on your normal leads, on your normal final expense or mortgage protection leads. This is more of an advanced sale, but I've just had a lot of questions about it recently. So I just want to kind of talk about the situations, if they come up, where it would be appropriate to use this product for. So, when you're in a home, and this is part of the ATM, the presentation book that we all use in the homes. When you're in a home, we're always trying to find the need. Like, what is the need for this insurance, for this product? Why is this person requesting the insurance? And that's why we have the different lead sources. That's why we have a final expense lead and why we have a mortgage protection lead, because it has created the need for coverage, right? But if someone is out there just looking for life insurance, or maybe they filled out a lead, but they don't necessarily know what they need to protect, there's going to be a few things that you want to go over. And this is in the ATM on why it's on one of the first pages. Why is this important? And it talks about why people buy life insurance. And so a really easy, I guess it's called an acronym. I guess it would be called an acronym. A really easy thing to remember is the word life. Okay. And I'll show you guys how I write it down. But when I'm in a home and I'm trying to help the customer, the person I'm sitting with, the family I'm sitting with, understand the purpose or the need of this coverage, I try to make it personalized for them. So a lot of times I'll write this out. I'll write life down my page. And next to life, I'll write loans, income, funeral, education, and then beside education, I always do a slash and write legacy. So it's just an easy way to remember the different why somebody would buy life insurance with the easy acronym of life. So loans, income, funeral, education / legacy. So why would somebody buy life insurance? Loans, a mortgage, right? You just had this debt come in place that you need to cover. God forbid something happened to you, that your family would have something in place to be able to either, one, keep the equity in the home that you've been building up for all these years, or two, just keep a roof over their head until they can figure out what the next move is. The next reason why people buy life insurance is income replacement. And with this, I'll always tell people, a lot of people have income replacement life insurance through their group work coverage. Why do I say it like that? Because that eliminates that objection for later on in the conversation where they may tell me, oh, I've got life insurance. I've got it through work. When I've talked about the income replacement and I've already told them most people have this through their group life insurance through their work, they know, oh, okay, that's different than this other stuff. It categorizes it differently in their head. And you should never rely on your group coverage, by the way. We can talk about that later. But The funeral coverage, final expenses, that's just to cover for burial costs, cremation expenses, final expenses is exactly what it says is what it is. The fourth reason why people buy life insurance is to leave behind education money for their kids if they were to be deceased prior to them getting to that age, right? Or just leaving behind a legacy for their family. So those are the 4 reasons of why people buy life insurance, and you're just going to write it out, spell it clear for them, like life. And then I'll explain to them that did you know that there's different types of life insurance? And they're like, no. Some people know that, but some people don't know that. So what I'll do is I'll just, to the side of the life that I just wrote down in front of them and explained, next to that, I'll write the 4 different types of life insurance. So I'll put accident. Then the next one I'll put is term. The next one I'll put is universal. And the next one I'll put is whole life. And I don't do this in every single home, but I do it where I feel it's necessary, or if I'm trying to get to the point of identifying, is what they ask me for the most appropriate thing for them, right? Or is, maybe if I'm trying to help explain, maybe they thought that they could get $1 million term policy or $500,000 term policy, but because their health, it doesn't allow them to get it. So you've got to kind of find creative ways to explain things to people so that they can have the knowledge and understanding of why they may not be able to qualify for something, or why what they're asking for may not be the most appropriate thing for their situation, right? So next to life, you'll write the 4 different types of insurance, which is accident, term, universal, and whole life. And I put it in that order because next to those words, I'm drawing money signs. The accident has 1 money sign, term has 2 money signs, universal has 3 money signs, and whole life has 4 money signs. And I'm sure you guys have already guessed why that is. It goes from least expensive to most expensive. And we can kind of figure out why that is, right? Accident insurance only covers you in the case of an accident. That is why it's the cheapest kind of life insurance. 2 is term. Term is the second cheapest type of life insurance because it eventually expires, and it doesn't build any cash inside of it. So it's temporary insurance. It's the cheapest way to buy it, but it's also a great way to leverage risk while maybe you have a mortgage or maybe you have young kids at home. The third way is universal life insurance. I'm going to talk about that to you guys in just a second. And the fourth way is whole life insurance. And that's just whole life insurance is really designed for people who may have had a little bit more wear and tear. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're a little bit older, or maybe they just are a little bit younger even and have had just a little bit of wear and tear in their body. Maybe they're not eligible. Maybe they're not a person who can qualify for any of the other types of life insurance, but they can qualify for whole life insurance. It is the most expensive because it is the most guaranteed. Okay. So what we're going to stop on is universal life insurance, and we're just going to talk about that for a second. So there's a couple different ways to get universal life insurance, but what I specifically want to talk about is indexed universal life insurance. So the index just means that it's attached to the market, okay? But it's never going to fall with the market. So remember we talked about universal life insurance has cash value. It does build cash, but it's a cheaper cost of insurance for the universal life than it is a whole life. So you still get the same type of cost of insurance as a term, but you put a little bit more in there to make it permanent insurance. So it builds cash and it lasts forever, but it actually is attached to an index, which means that the cash that's building inside of your policy can grow and earn interest. So situations that may come up that would be appropriate for universal life insurance. Somebody who wants more tax-free retirement would be somebody who that would be appropriate for. If you run into a scenario where you have a client who, one, either makes too much money to put money into a Roth, which is a tax-free retirement program, Or if you run into a situation where somebody's already maxing out their Roth, but they want more tax-free retirement money for later, that's another reason to write universal life insurance, index universal life insurance. A child or a parent who wants to set their child up for either college education funds or just retirement for them in the future, just to protect the kid for literally, I mean, you could put $50 a month in and make sure that your child will be able to retire and not have to rely on Social Security or other things like that. So that would be a reason if somebody's asking about, do you have college education plans for kids? That is what we use for the college education plans, is an index universal life insurance policy. If somebody wants a long-term life insurance and is healthy and below age 55, that would be a great thing to write, is the IUL. If somebody wants living benefits with just long-term life insurance, IUL is a good. Business owners who may not have like a 401k or match or any type of funded retirement program through their work, an IUL is like, should be at the top of the list. The problem is that not everybody can qualify. Okay. So you have to find people who are healthy enough to qualify, which healthy enough meaning that they just have to be able to like qualify for a term plan. If they can qualify for a term, most likely they're going to be able to qualify for an IUL. And real quick, I could get in the weeds about this because I own a lot of IULs. Between Jonathan and I, we have a couple. And the best way to learn your products is to own your products. Obviously, you can't own all of them, but you can start with having just a simple accidental life insurance policy on yourself just to get started, just so that you can see what the process looks like on underwrite or how to submit an application, what it looks like to get a policy in the mail, things like that. You can gradually, or if you want a term, you can get a term, or if you just want to start out with an IUL, you can get an IUL. But the best way that I learned my products was honestly by personal use. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually run an illustration for a product like this. This is advanced. We normally just do basic like term quoting or universal or UL quoting or accidental life quoting or whole life. The IUL is a little bit, like I said, advanced, but I do want to show you guys because I've had some questions on it. I'm going to show y'all how to, here we go. Let me share my screen. How to actually run an illustration. Can you guys see my screen? Jonathan, can you see it? Yeah, okay, thank you. Cool. All right.
Yes.
Hey, Siobhan. It's good to hear your voice.
Good to see you.
Okay. All right. I may have gone too quickly. Sorry. I'm just real used to doing this. Okay. So let me walk you through. We have a couple different carriers that do this type of program, do this type of product. And I'm going to use Fidelity and Guarantee because I personally think that their IUL is the best. It shows the highest, it's illustrated the highest, meaning that the indexes have done very well with them over the last 20 years. So it's a great plan and it pays higher commissions. So we like that too. Okay, so when you are on the F&G site, everybody who's an agent should have their own logins with each carrier. As you get appointed and contracted with each of the carriers, you are going to set up your own logins. But for this one, you'll go to Sales Tools, you'll go to Illustrations, and then I always just do it straight from the website. So you click here, and it's going to take you to this page. You're going to click on Start New Case. And let's just do one for, so I can show you a college plan. Let's do one for a boy who is 1 year old. So just a brand new baby boy. So 1 year old. So this is if you have somebody who's wanting to set up college funding for their kids. If y'all want me to run any other types of illustrations, we can go through that too. Just send in the chat what you want me to show. Okay, hopefully y'all are following along. So down here, we're going to go to Texas Index Universal Life, and the product that we're going to use is Path Setter. This is the product that we always use for the IUL. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, one of the most important things about setting this policy up is the way that you structure it. It's extremely, 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 extremely important. Obviously, the little boy is only 1 year old, so mom has to be the owner, whatever mom's name is. Okay, so in these types of plans, we want it to build the most cash that it can build. We want the policy to build the most cash that it can build. So when we're solving for, because it's not like a normal quote where we just put in somebody's age and then the amount of coverage that they need, because on a basic term, all you need to put in is their age, their sex, and how much coverage they're looking for, and it just spits you out a quote. With this one, because of it's a little bit more complex, we do need to solve for max accumulation and income, because we want to show what this child is going to take from the policy when they're 18, 19, 20, 21. So one of the things that people always forget to do is change the solve for. It automatically is going to solve for the premium. But typically in these scenarios, the parent's going to tell you that they can afford $50 a month on each child, or $100 a month on each child. In this scenario, I'm just going to do $100 a month. We need to change this to monthly to make sure that it does it correctly. But we're going to click on this little number here and put in $100. Now the system is going to automatically show that he's going to be spending $100 a month for the life of the policy. There's a couple of things that I always change on here. We're not going to set it up to where, and every situation is different. So please, if you have a scenario, call the sales desk at whatever carrier you're looking at putting this with, or call Jonathan or I, or Katie or Jeff or whomever, and have just a discussion with what might be the best for the scenario. But in most cases, I'm going to pay the premium till age 65, so that his premiums would turn off at age 65. We're going to change the cash value to $20,000 at age 120, because I want this policy to last him his whole life. So at the end of the day, if I put this, that'll make sure that that what it's going to take from the policy will still leave enough money inside the policy to keep it going. All right. So just real quick, solve for base value, put in the specified premium that the client wants to pay per month. We want to pay the premium till age 65. And then we want to start taking money from it. Let's just say he's going to do a lump sum at age, if he goes to school from age 18 to 22, let's just say he's going to take a lump sum of his cash value at age 22 to pay back any student loans, because the interest that he's going to have on the student loans is going to be less probably than what it's going to be to take the money from here. So we'll just do one big lump sum at age 22. And just for the fun of it, we're also going to start an income stream for this child for when he turns 65 to, let's just get him 25 years till age, we'll do 20 years till age 85 for him. Okay. we're going to change. I'm going to go quickly because we only have a couple minutes left before Jeff jumps on, but I'm going to change this from option A to option B, which just means that the life insurance is going to increase over time instead of staying the same. Yeah, what's up, Melissa? You can unmute yourself and ask.
Hey, Megan. I wanted to ask, I noticed that you set it as a variable for the loan type. Why not fixed?
I always just default it to variable. I don't have a specific reason for you, to be honest.
Okay.
Let me go back to it. I know that if you change it to fixed, it's just a lower, what you'd get is a lower amount, because it takes it as a withdrawal instead of a loan.
Okay, so that's just basically, it's based off of whatever
always
interest rate is in
defaulted
the
to
market at that time.
Well, not necessarily. No, not necessarily, but just for illustration purposes, just leave it at variable. There may be some very unique situations where fixed would be the option, but just remember, this is an illustration anyway. You're not choosing your loan type at the beginning. All we're doing is illustrating the product.
Okay, gotcha.
So whenever the client decides to actually pull the money out from the policy is when they'll decide whether they want it as a variable or fixed. And in most cases, variable makes more sense. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and calculate these results. So it's going to show me the suspense. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So this is $100 a month on a 1-year-old little boy. Then the death benefit starting out is going to be at $155,000. Remember, we're not really buying this for death benefit. It's just the life insurance is what keeps the money tax-free later. But I'm showing this to where he's paying it until the parents are paying it until 22. And then at year 23, he'll be able to pull out $46,000 that year to pay off any student loans. And then at age 65, I've turned the income on for 20 years, and by paying $100 a month for those 20 years, or from age 1 to 64, he's gonna be able to pull out an additional $87,000 per year from the policy, completely tax-free. All this money is tax-free. So just to do the math real quick, over that 65-year period, he's put in $1,200 a year. That's a total of $78,000 for that whole 64-year period. All right, $78,000 is the total premiums contributed. And he pulled out $46,000 at age 23 and $87,000 a year for 20 years. So times 87,344 times 20 years plus another 46,000. You put in 78,000 after tax dollars to get back 1.7 million over the life of the policy tax-free.
Megan, in that illustration, is the loan being paid back or no for college?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it done that way.
No, the reason I did it lump sum, Jeff, is because if you don't take it those 4 years, your cash value just increases. And so you can take a larger amount. And most of the time your student loans aren't going to be as much as you can get inside of the policy. The interest anyway.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And Melissa, it looks like my mom said, I think cash grows better with the variable rate. So that'd be another reason why we do the variable instead of the fixed whenever we're taking loans. So, okay, let me exit out of here. Let me stop my screen share and, oh, look. Okay, so this will be sorry if I confused anybody on that illustration. If you have questions about the IUL, please feel free to ask me anything. Call me tomorrow or send me a message on Slack. Let me know if you have a scenario that you want to go over or anything like that. I'm happy to do it. Okay, so this will be kind of the end for the Alleman call. If you just our group team call, if you are one of the people who want to stay on for the next hour and get a little bit extra training, kind of do that accountability thing we've been talking about, we have an extra special guest on the call tonight, and I'll introduce you guys in just a second. But if you guys don't have to stay on if you don't want to. This is going to be just some extra intense training for the people who want to grow. So I'll pause real quick for the video, for the recording, and then I'll introduce you, Jeff.
Okay.
Well, good evening, guys. I'm excited about tonight. A few weeks back, Jeff Bright and I started chatting about him coming onto our calls and helping the team grow and just giving us a little bit more insight on what he's been doing to help other agents increase their app count per week. And I'm really excited to have you on the call tonight, Jeff. I know that you are on Eastern time and it is 9:00 there. So I really appreciate your time, and Nancy, your wife, to allow you to be on here with us and just give us some of your knowledge and help get us a little bit more consistent and the app count up. So we're really excited about this. Really excited to have you on, and welcome to the call.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be on here. It's good to see you. Yeah. So what I want to do, guys, is kind of introduce you to this structure that I have. Because I'm trying to introduce what is called a routine. And a routine only comes from two things: drive and discipline. And really, discipline creates drive. I know a lot of people think drive creates your discipline. I don't believe that. Drive is all it's about is consequence. Excuse me, drive is about urgency, and discipline is about consequence. I believe that a good consequence will create great urgency. For example, I need to pay my mortgage, and I need to work so I can pay my mortgage. And so the consequence of not paying my mortgage would be I might live under a bridge, which at 59, I don't want to live under a bridge. That's not attractive to me. So my drive goes way up because that consequence of living under a bridge makes me want to be urgent about not living under a bridge. And when my alarm goes off, I get up every morning fired up out of my mind to get on these calls. Just fired up because I keep thinking about that bridge scenario. So I'm trying to create a routine, and I'm going to back into drive and discipline later on. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the routine without drive and discipline. I'm going to assume that you have both of those. I will find out which one you don't have or both as we get into these calls every week. But I'm going to assume that all of you are ready to hear the routine discussion. All right. So the routine is called the 3-number plan. And if you think just because we introduced this 3-number plan, you're going to start writing more apps, it's not going to happen. It's just the structure. Regular action with consistency is what's going to get us our numbers. Consistently get our numbers. So I'm all about consistency right now. And my metric to measure consistency is going to be applications submitted, not issued, but submitted. Once I get you consistent, then I'll change the metric from applications submitted to issue paid. But that may take 6 months, may take longer for some of you. But we're going to learn to crawl before we run, and we're going to get consistent, and we're going to stay connected to the system. Now, for those of you that have trouble with consistency and you are not going to hit your numbers, then I will change the metric for you. And your metric will become dials. I'll get in the weeds with you. We'll get way back in the weeds. I don't want to get in the weeds. I don't like weeds. I don't like bugs. I don't like snakes. I don't even mow my own grass. So I don't like weeds. But if you force me, I will go back to dials, and that will be your metric. Right now, everybody's an adult on this call, and I don't have to chart your dials. You're just going to tell me how many apps you submit each week. It's going to be simple. So let's try, Megan. You introduce me to everybody tonight. And as you introduce me, I'm going to get their 3 numbers from them. Now, Megan, do you think I need to review what the 3-number plan is for these folks?
Yes.
You know what it is, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do this one time, and then Megan's going to introduce me to everybody on the call, and then I'm going to ask you to tell me your 3 numbers. Now, I'm going to try to lead the witness because I'm going to try to force you to pick my numbers for you. But you can try to go against me if you want, but I'm just doing for your own good. I like to pick your numbers. All right. So the 3-number plan. The first number to me is the most important number of all. And this is where we get so messed up. And it costs us a lot of weeks because you picked the wrong number. I suggest you pick 1 because that's the lowest number you can pick. Why wouldn't you pick that? It's not an indication of you're not motivated or you're not ambitious. It has nothing to do with that. It's the first number that you have to hit every week, no matter what kind of drama's in your life, you must hit this number. We just had Thanksgiving. I was just on a call. I was on 4 Zooms right in a row. People were recording zeros, every one of them, zeros. And their excuse was, it was Thanksgiving. Well, see, guess what their first number was, guys? Some of them had 2, some of them had 4. They were telling me I'm going to write 4 apps a week, the minimum. If I have the worst week in my life, I'm going to write 4. They wrote 0. Why wouldn't you pick 1? Just pick 1. Do yourself a favor and pick 1 as your first number. That's your minimum number. That's what you have to write. All right. Second number is our goal. It's our short-term goal. In the next 6 months to a year, we need to start consistently writing this number of applications submitted a week. That's the second number. The third number is your long-term goal. A year from now, what you want to be writing a week. So most people, you don't have to be most people, but most people, their 3 numbers are the most popular: 1, 3, 5. That's the most popular 3-number plan. But some of you are ambitious. I know you're with Megan. You got to be ambitious. Some of you will pick 2, 4, 6. I got people picking 5, 10, 15. Whew, it just blows my mind. But 1, 3, 5 says I have to write 1 a week for a month. Second number 3, I have to write 3 a week, 12 a month. I need to write 3 a week, 12 a month to hit my short-term goal. 5 is your third number, would be 5 a week, 20 a month is a long-term goal. Now, Megan, I know you got people all over the board here that are newcomers, veterans. I don't want to pick your numbers, but just beware. I'm not just judging you individually on this call. This is a community Zoom, which means whatever number you put down, that first number, for example, if Megan says her number is a 2 and she writes 0 for the week, she just got the team a -2. And let's say I said my number is 2 a week and I wrote 4, I just got a +2 for the team. I just balanced out Megan's -2. But what we want, Megan, is to you to end up at the end of the day, when we add up everybody's numbers, we want everybody to contribute, not a lot of negatives. I just got off 4 phone calls. One was a -13, one was a -8, one was a -4, and one was a -2. Okay. So that's how I'm going to judge you, because guess what? You're not going to do this because it's good for you. I have found out you will self-sabotage. You care more about the others than you do yourself. And you're less likely to screw this up for the team than you are for yourself. So I'm going to make this a community activity. How about that? I may be a con artist, but I'm a transparent con artist. My wife said I should have been a cult leader. I don't think that's a compliment. Really don't. All right. So let's how about you introduce these people to me, and we'll get their 3 numbers.
All right. So I'm just going to start with you, Jeff. I think you've met Jeff Adcock before.
I think so.
A couple times. Yeah.
I think so.
We'll start with Jeff, and then we'll move
Jeff,
around the board.
Man, you had just started with us at the Alliance. It was a instant thunder.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
I think you had just come to see us, so it has been a while. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So
Jeff's been with us for about 5 years, and him and his wife Katura have been great friends of my parents for years, and he's always been a solid producer. So,
hey Jeff, the second number is what you need to submit each week.
yeah, have to, need to, want to.
Okay. Mine are going to be 1, 3, and 5.
Good choice. Good choice, Jeff. I like that.
okay.
I can follow instructions.
Yeah.
Next one, let's go to Juanita. So is there any other questions besides the 3 numbers, or is that all we're going through first?
That's all we're doing first.
Okay. So Juanita Bowen, she's been with us for about 1.5 years. She has been an insurance agent for about going on 5 years, mostly Medicare. So she's transitioning to the life side. So Juanita, speak up, girlfriend.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna chicken out and do 1, 3, and 5.
Oh, that's fine. That's great. Good to meet you, Juanita.
Hello, how you doing this evening? Thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. So let's go to Katie Williams next. You've met Katie before. She's here in Houston, top producer of ours.
Hey, Jeff. How are you doing?
Good, Katie. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Thanks. Okay. So I came in I had like a little bit of an interruption. Somebody at my door. Okay. So the first number is how many we want to write, need to write. And what's the last one?
The first one is have to write.
Have to write. Like
The second one is need to, and then want to. Have to, need to, want to. Have to, that first number is like when you're bowling and you push that button and these bumper guards come up so your ball don't go in the gutter. That's the only reason. That first number is only there, not to be celebrated, Katie, not to be celebrated. If you hit that number and you want me to do a bunch of clapping, that ain't going to happen. That's
right.
You're only doing that in when you have the worst month of your life, you still hit that number. You're really trying to hit the second number. So have to, need to, want to.
okay. So, and this is weekly.
Weekly
Or monthly?
submit. Weekly submit.
I would say 2, 4, and 6.
Okay. All right. Good. All right,
Okay.
good.
Jonathan, you go next.
What's up, Jeff?
What's up with you? How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm really excited you were doing this.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Megan told me, I was like, I'm fired up. So I got some pretty big numbers for you. So
All right.
hold me to it.
Just
man,
remember,
all right?
it affects the whole team, Johnny.
Oh, I know. I've been doing it long enough. All right. 3, 10, 15.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a big number. That's a big number. All right.
Okay.
Hey,
We'll
can't
go
argue
with
with that.
Melissa. We'll go with Melissa next. She's probably the newest to the team. So Melissa, do you understand the numbers?
Yes. Hi, Jeff. Nice to meet you.
Hello. How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So I'm going to go right now since I've been in insurance for 12 years. But this is the first time I do independent. I've always been with State Farm. So I know it's a little different. So to start off, I would probably say 1, 3, and 5 as well.
Okay, very good. All right, Melissa, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Santiago, you next, my man. He may have trouble with his phone. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you figure out how to unmute the phone, Santiago, you can speak up. Sharon, we'll go with you next. Oh, I see you unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 3, 10. What's my logic? Do you need to know? That's just what I want to do.
That's what you want to do. Well,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It may change y'all's thinking, and y'all can adjust these numbers. We're not locked in with these numbers. And since you said that, Sharon, I might have should have said this. I was kind of holding back something. So guess what happens? Guess what happens, Sharon? If you start hitting that second number, like I said, consistently, like 3 months in a row, you know what I'm going to do, Sharon? I'm going to reward you, and I'm going to take away your first number. It goes away. And your second number is going to become your first number, and your third number is going to become your second number, and you're going to get a new third number.
Okay.
So when you put that third number way out there like that, if you you see, one day that's going to become your second number.
Yeah.
You see how I'm shifting it?
I see how you're shifting it to help us to continue to grow.
Yeah, like if I'm successful, Sharon, you will never hit your third number.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm doing?
Because it'll just keep going to the have to the have to.
The have to will go away.
Oh, it goes away.
The second number will become the have to. That 10 will become your need to, and you'll get a new want to number.
Oh, okay. New want to.
That third number is your want to. That's like pie in the sky. I see a lot of y'all think that there's a correlation between want to and willingness. No correlation. Just because you want to do something don't mean your willingness is going to go up. It stays. Want to is here, willingness is here. Now, need to, when your need to is high, guess what happens to your willingness? Kind of goes up. Kind of goes up. Kind of goes up. But guess what? If you have to do something, guess what your willingness does? Goes way up. Because listen, I want to do a lot of things, and I want to clean my garage, and believe me, I need to clean my garage out. But do I have to? Not right now. I can make excuses. It's getting cold. I don't want to go out there. It's cold. But in the summer, I'm going, there might be a snake out there. I don't want to do it. So, but if my car's battery dies, now I'll give you a better example. The dryer broke the other day. The dryer broke. Air drying stuff throughout the house. I got stuff hanging everywhere right now because it takes a week to get a dryer delivered. It ain't no fun wearing jeans that's been air dried because they're stiff. There ain't nothing good about it. But as soon as my dryer went out, guess what I did, Sharon? I let everything else drop. Every ball game I wanted to watch, everything took second place because I had to get that dryer fixed that day. I had to remedy this situation quick. I had some urgency because my have to controlled my willingness. You see what that does? So that's why that's your first number. I'm trying to get you to hit that have to because I want that willingness up here. But I want to keep it up there as I replace your have to with your need to. I don't want it to go back down. It's a trick I'm playing. All right. Thank you, Sharon. Who's next?
I'm sorry. I got a phone call that came in, but thank you. I heard almost every word. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You're welcome.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Stephanie. Stephanie is a bad A. She's a full-time nurse and
I know Stephanie. I know.
Hey, how are you?
you know Stephanie.
Yeah,
We've met before.
several times.
Right?
Yeah.
Several times. Yeah.
Yeah. So not only full-time nurse, also new mother. Right.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Single mom too. So it's been a really fun year.
And she gets apps in. So what are your numbers,
Yes.
Steph?
I would say have to, 2,
Mhm.
need to, 4, want to, 14. Does that make sense, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. I just hope it makes sense to you when you start hitting 4 consistently and that 14 becomes your short-term goal.
That yes, absolutely. I know I have it in me. Again, it's been a crazy 2 years, right? COVID and everything, and
Yeah, it sure
Yeah.
has. Well, it's good to see.
those
It's
are
good to
just
see.
excuses because I know I can actually do it.
Yep.
That's what we got to
Well,
eliminate, though, is excuses.
That's right. I'm going to be your accountability partner.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Michael. Michael
Okay,
Smith.
Michael.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. I've heard a lot of good things about you. So I'm just going to go ahead and use your business model, 1, 3, and 5, and then grow from there.
All right. Sounds
I'm
good.
restarting my career. I'm restarting my career with the Alliance, and so I'm kind of picking up where I left off.
Well, good.
Which wasn't really good.
I look forward to getting to know you better.
Yeah, I really look forward to it, and I'm sure you got a lot of great things to bring to the table, and I'm all ears.
Well, good. Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Olivia, I see you jumped on, but I know that you didn't catch the beginning portion. If you know what we're talking about, you can speak up or just tell us real quick what your weekly minimum number of apps you want to submit per week is. I know you just jumped on, so if you don't know what those numbers are yet, that's okay. And Mom, I don't know if you're able to speak up. If you want to speak up, you can. She's in the hospital tonight, so I'm not sure.
She's in the hospital now. Is she listening to us?
She is. Her and my dad are both on here.
Well, hey, how are y'all doing? I mean, I haven't talked to your dad in a long time, and I don't know when the last time I talked to your mom.
They're both on here. She was chatting. Oh, there she is. Look at her. Do you have your mom? If you talk, he'll be able to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff, if you go up into your corner of Zoom and click on gallery, click on the view, and then click on gallery if you're on a laptop.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey, Jeff.
It's okay. We can just talk.
Okay.
Oh, I see you now. Hey, it's so good to see y'all.
Thank you. I really don't have numbers
Oh, yeah.
right this moment, but I know at least 3 a week would be a have to.
Yeah.
5 and 7, but with me being sick, I just
Right.
don't.
Yeah, I understand. 3, 5, 7. 3, 5, 7. Yeah, that's and when I'm on these calls, Michelle, I'm doing like 6 or 7 Zooms a day. And they all go, hey, because everybody wants to talk about animals, right? They still want to talk about them damn animals. And they go, what is a lion? Do you know any lions? And I go, yeah, I know a lion. Michelle Alleman's a lion. She's a lion. And I know a beaver, and she's married to one. And they got a daughter, and she's an otter.
That's right. We got all the members of the family. We got all the animals in our family somewhere. So.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I don't know if you have any golden retrievers or not, but
once I get better, I'm going to adjust my numbers back up. But this is just kind of at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think this is going to be a cool thing, Michelle. What I hope to do with this is every week these people are going to report their numbers, which I think they need to say it out loud. I don't need for us to put a screenshot out and say, these are the numbers. I want them to say their numbers proudly. If they don't hit their numbers, I still want them to say it proudly. And then we're going to talk about best practices every week. Every week, everybody's going to share what went right, what went wrong. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a training, like get your mind right type training. So that's what the hour is going to consist of every week. And guess what, Michelle? I started off in May. I had 7 people doing this plan. I got 24 apps, and I was fired up, Mike. I was fired up out of my mind. And then I got 29 in June, 29 apps. And then in August, I got 104. And then in September, I got 178. And then, in August, I got 178. September, I got 317. And then October, Michelle, I got 597. 92 people doing 597 apps. So I think that's good.
That's wonderful.
I'm so excited, Jeff, about what we're going to be able to do on our team.
Absolutely. I am too.
It's going to
I'm just
absolutely
glad.
work.
I'm glad to help out. We're going to move the needle and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to have fun doing it. So thank you. Good seeing you two.
So I'm the only one who hasn't given my numbers. So,
All right.
Hi, I'm Megan. My numbers are 2, 5, and 8.
2, 5, and 8. All right. That's some good otter numbers there.
I'm going to change mine, Jeff, to 3, 7, 10 after listening to you. 3, 7, 10.
7, 10.
That's my final answer.
That's your final answer. Okay. Okay.
Well, then now I need to change mine a little bit. 2, 4, and 6. Let's do 2, 4, 6.
2, 4, 6. That sounds a whole lot better, Stephanie. I like that better.
Thanks, John.
Jeff, I'm going to change mine too. But I'm going to do the same thing as Megan. I want to be 2, 5, and 8.
All right. Okay.
All right, Jeff. Let's do it.
Let's do this. All right. All right. That's good. That's good. So we got numbers. So let me just give you some things that we're going to do. Some of the topics that I'll talk about and some of the training that we'll do. Because I don't want it just to be about me trying to get your mind right, which I got plenty of those talks, plenty of them. Now, we have talked about the animals on these calls. I think that y'all will enjoy this because I have taught people how to identify an animal without a test, which is very difficult. It's hard to teach people to do that. But I have done some training that I'm really proud of, that if you got an otter in front of you, how you change the script versus whether you got a beaver in front of you, for example, and how to recognize what's in front of you without the test, because you can't get your clients to take the test before you sell them insurance. So we're going to do some of that. I got a lot of talks on, I just did one tonight for Jason and Olga for their group called How to Get Rid of Procrastination. So I'll do stuff like that. I'll do what is called the 3 premises of life. That's a real famous talk I do. I'll do the six things that will make you successful automatically. I'll go through those. And it's a recipe. I've got a lot of recipes. But we will do some fun role plays. I've got what is called the Phone Script Olympics. And I will become the 4 different animals, and you'll try to book an appointment with me, and I will be, and you don't get to pick the animal. It's potluck. It's whatever I feel like being. Okay. So that, if you are struggling with phone script, if you can book appointments with these 4 people, you can book an appointment with anybody, because I'm going to hit you with the craziest objections you have ever heard in your whole life. They're going to be bizarre. I'm going to try to take you down rabbit holes and cover you up. We're going to see how good you are on the phone. And that'll make you stronger, right? Because I'm finding out the biggest problem of people getting their apps, especially the new people, they are not good, Megan, on the telephone. They are terrible booking appointments. They went to the trouble of buying these leads, paying this money for these leads. Then they dial them and spend all this time dialing, and then they get the coveted contact and they screw that up. We got to make sure that don't happen. Now, do you think, Megan, that's only an epidemic that I'm seeing in other parts of the country, and it's not on your team? Is your team really good at phone script?
No.
Okay, so we'll put them to the test, but we won't do that right off the bat.
We're pretty good at phone script, but I still think that we all fall in with the,
Mm-hmm.
we all get caught off guard with the animals, with the people.
Yep. So what we need to do is send you, I'm going to get Pam to send you the animal test, Megan, with some free codes. And, tell you, your dad's listening, tell your dad, I've figured out how to get past this 25-cent problem with the programmers. It seemed like it was like the most difficult thing they could ever do is to remove the 25 cent. I just don't understand IT people at all, especially ours, Mike. Wink, wink. And so now I've got free codes, or Pam does. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, you're speaking to an otter. I'm Elvis and she's the Colonel. She's trying to get me to the stage in my late years. All right. So we got a little bit of time left tonight. I just want to give a preview, if I could, of the kind of stuff that I might talk about in the Get Your Mind Right category. Okay. Since we don't have any numbers tonight to have a best practices conversation, I'll just do a little bit of a training to kind of whet your appetite, the kind of stuff that I might do. And I'm going to do one that's kind of crazy tonight and funny, just to kind of lighten the mood. And I'm going to do what is called the 3 premises of life. Okay. If you can say these 3 things, you will be successful. Okay. These 3 premises. And I got this from a man. He used to teach for me. He passed away a couple years ago, and he was a marriage counselor. He was a psychologist, and he taught psychology for me at the college. His name was Dr. Lane Anderson. We called him Dr. A. So Dr. A came up with these 3 premises. In memory, Dr. A, I've always give him credit for these 3 things. And remember, he is a marriage counselor by trade. So this has a lot to do, with the micro relationships. Okay. But I think it applies to our world too. All right. This is kind of crazy. Stay with me on this. Here's the first. Now I'm going to breeze through the first 2 to get to the 3rd premise, because that's the one that I think that where we need to concentrate on. So the first premise that you need to be able to say this with conviction is that life's not fair. And you need to get used to it, because it ain't never going to be fair. If you want fair, you need to go to a place to bring your prize winning pig and try to get a blue ribbon. That's the only fair I know of. There is no fair in this world. So you need to be able to say life's not fair. That's the first premise. Second premise, you must be able to say nobody owes me a darn thing. All right. So I quickly went through those, and we'll come back to those. Well, I'm going to go to the 3rd one now, because here's where I think some of the problems lie. The 3rd premise is that no one was put on this earth to make you happy. So Dr. A said, I'm going to say something about this 3rd one in a second. I'm going to use my example for the 3rd one. Dr. A said, he divided people up into what is called green light people and red light people. Green light people and red light, red light people. So green light people don't believe anything is supposed to be fair. Green light people don't think anybody owes them anything. Green light people don't think that anybody was put on this earth to make them happy. Red light people, on the other hand, think that life's supposed to be fair. They think people owe them something, and they think that people were put on this earth to be their cruise director. So here's what I did with his information. I used to teach a class at college called Marriage and the Family. And one of the chapters was on divorce. And the class project for the semester, every semester, my students had to come up with a technique, strategy of some type that would lower the divorce rate in the country. Statistically speaking, the divorce rate's about 44 to 48% of first-time marriages into divorce. Okay. One of them came up with this. I don't know. I'm just giving you examples of what they came up with. One of them came up with, they made a law. They changed it, made a federal and state law that you couldn't get married until you're 25. Now, just making that law, it took the divorce rate down to 24%, which I couldn't give them a bad grade, but I was like, really? You can't get married till you're 25? What if you want to get married? What if you're deeply in love and you want to get married when you're 21 or 20 or 19 or 18? And they go, well, you can, but you have to pay the government $100,000 to get married before 25. Thought that was a little crazy, but I gave them an A because it dropped it down to, they statistically proved that it went down to 24%. Now, the students that I remembered the most are the ones that came up with this box. They had this box that they created a box. Mike, you'll like this. It was a box that had two lights on it. It had a green light and a red light. And when you stuck your head in this box, you stuck it in, either a red light went off or a green light. And they wanted to install this box at the front of every church altar, every justice of peace office, anywhere you could get married, this box had to be installed. Now, Megan, are you with me on this? Are you with me, Megan?
Yeah.
You're with me on this. You follow
I
this,
said
right?
I'm with you, but I was muted.
Okay, you're with me on this. Okay. All right. Now think about that. Before you and Jonathan could get married, you'd had to stuck your head in this box.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the purpose of sticking your head in there? Well, the box, had this way of figuring out whether you're a green light or red light person. So if you got a green light and Jonathan got a red light, you couldn't get married. And believe me, Megan, you wouldn't want to marry a red light person. See, I'd be doing you a favor if they're a red light, because it does not end well for the green light person marrying a red light person. So that was the law. Only two green lights could get married. Now, what if they were both red lights? They said they made an exception because those two people deserve each other. But red lights never marry red lights. They always rope in a green light and make their life miserable for the rest of their life, unless they want a divorce. All right, so let me play this out for you. The number one argument amongst couples, voted in every marriage counseling magazine I've ever read, or Dr. A had in his office. Number one every year, number one argument amongst couple is always this one argument. Do y'all know what it is? Megan, do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
Anybody out there want to venture a guess what it is?
Oh, I would finances.
Money.
Yeah, money and finance.
You think it's money and finances? Yeah, it's not. Now, see, y'all are going to the root of the problem. I'm talking about the gateway drug argument that takes you. That's the gateway to the other arguments. This just gets your dandruff up a little bit. The argument is, where are we going to eat?
That is a really awful argument.
It is an awful argument. And I would advise you, first advice I'd give you about that argument is don't get in a moving car and have this discussion. Have it before you get in a car and the wheels start moving. But the reason I bring this up is I'm going to become a red light and a green light in the argument. Okay. We're going to have a green light person and a red light person in this argument. And I'm going to show you the difference, because you remember, green light people don't think life's supposed to be fair. They don't think nobody owes them anything. And they don't believe anybody was put here to make them happy. You've got to make yourself happy first before you can make other people happy. It's just like that exercise that they go through on the planes. You must put your mask on first before you can save others. You must first be happy You can't go get married. Red light people get married to try to see if anybody else can make them happy. Wrong decision. That's not why you should get married. All right. So here's the argument. Green light people are kind of naive, a little bit kind of like see the glass half full, and they're kind of nice people. So they start the conversation like this. Where would you like to go eat tonight, honey? Red light person. I don't know. Where do you want to go? Now, see, this is where it's going to go bad from this point on. Because red light people, that's a trap question. That's a trap. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? See, that's a trap question. And if you decide to answer, you're now entering the most whacked out game show you have ever been a contestant on. But green light people don't know that. So they honestly go, how about we go eat Japanese? Red light person says, Japanese, we had that 2 weeks ago. Do you remember that it upset my stomach? It upset my stomach and I had a trauma afterwards. Do you not remember the trauma? I remember the trauma. I guess you don't remember my pain. I guess you want me to have another trauma. You got your first X in this game show. You got your first X. Green light people, they're going to keep participating because they think that, the glass half full, they can solve this problem. And they say, how about Olive Garden? Red light person goes, Olive Garden. Did we eat there twice this week already? Is that your go-to move? Is that the only place you can think of? Is that because you're a cheapskate and you just want soup and salad? And that's what you make me order is soup and salad? Because it's the cheapest thing on the menu? And your second X. Green light people don't want to get a third X, so they change their strategy. And they go, why don't you just tell me where you like to go? Red light people can't respond to that because guess what red light people can't do? They don't know where they want to go. They just know where they don't want to go. The moral of this story is you're not going to hit your 3 numbers. You're not going to be successful at this if you're a red light person. If you're a blamer, an excuse maker, and play the victim, and you start every conversation with me every week like, I didn't hit my numbers, and let me tell you why. You won't believe what happened to me. If you start off their conversation, that is a typical red light starting off the conversation example. But if you're a green light person, I'll take a 0. If you tell me I got 0, I'll take an honest 0. It means that 0 was full of activity. But I don't take a 0 that says, I just didn't feel like doing nothing. That's not going to flush with me. Not as your accountability partner. I need green light people to make this work. If we want to see growth, be a green light person. Nothing's fair. Nobody owes you anything, and nobody was put here to make you happy. You need to make yourself happy, and then you can make others happy, and you can get these numbers. But if you're a red light person, this ain't going to work out for you. That's my moral. That's kind of like I'm trying to introduce you to this in a nice way. I thought it was funny, but I'm trying to make a point. You see, you didn't know where I was going with this, did you, mate?
I didn't. I had no idea where you're going with it, but point made. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I'm excited about being on this call, and we're gonna have some good stuff. We're gonna do some good stuff. So I'm gonna get Pam. We're gonna send you the animal link.
Animal test,
and then we're gonna get some codes. And I want everybody to take the animal test, and I want to find out what animals, not just your first animal, but your second animal. Take a screenshot of your score page where it has your animals up there, and then it has a word down at the bottom. Click on that word because that word's more important than those animals. Like I'm a extreme otter, moderate lion, and my word is influencer. And when you click on your word, it tells you all your strengths and weaknesses. And that's what we need to talk about is your strengths and weaknesses. So we're going to start off by talking of animals. And next week I'll have the animals on here. I'll have all 4 animals. I'll have props, and we'll have them talk to you. Okay. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. My cats are at the door here trying to get me to stop. They always kind of bother me when I get on these calls. I have one cat that I'll bring in here. Y'all can meet this one cat. The rest of them are not allowed in this room. All right. So any questions for me?
Any questions, anybody?
I have a question.
Real quick again. So the red light people, they think they don't believe in any of the three, and the yellow light person, what's
Green
that
light.
one?
Green light, Jeff. Green light. Green light believe in all three premises.
Right.
Life's not fair. Nobody owes you anything, and nobody was put here to make you happy. Red light people don't believe in any of those premises.
Okay. And what's yellow?
There's no yellow. This is green. Green. There's no yellow.
Simplifies
Green.
it. Awesome.
Are we ever trying to convert the red lights to green lights, or just approach it as a green light all the time?
I didn't say that again. I didn't get that part. Michael,
Are we ever trying or purposely trying to convert our potential clients from a red light to a green light, or do we just play it that way as a green to red, red to green?
Oh, you're talking about applying this to clients. As far as clients are concerned, I don't think you want to get into these premises with a client. I don't think you need to worry about that with a client.
I would think that you'd want to identify that right into the call, correct?
Look, majority of the people you're gonna meet with are red light people. So I mean, they just are.
He just means for this call, like the accountability wise, when you show up here every week to say your numbers, to come with the conviction that life is not fair, nobody owes me anything, and no one was put here to make me happy. When you're presenting your numbers, so that we don't just become excuse makers for the lack of activity, but we do the activity, and you know what I mean. Regardless. Even if we show up with zero, come here and own it. Like, that's all good. Just
it's all good. There's no shame. There's no shame. We're going to help. This is a village, and we're going to rise everybody up together. You know. Those of you that are strong participants on here, I'm going to ask you to help lift up your teammates that are maybe in the hole, and they're bringing us into the hole because they're negative numbers. But hey, I'm happy that we're just you stay on this call. We're going to lift you up. If you're barely doing your minimum, we're gonna find out why, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. We're not going to let you fail. You stay with us, you will succeed.
Awesome.
So maybe for my mom was asking a question. Do you want everybody to take the animal test so that we can come back and know what our animal is next week?
Yeah. Yes, I do. And I'm going to give you some free codes. Tomorrow, I will send you the animal test and how many codes do I need to send? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 11, 12. Looks like you got 2 that are not on here, but maybe 12 codes.
Yeah, 12. That'd be good.
Okay, I'll do that. And the weeks to come, Megan, Pam, who works for me now.
Yeah.
Pam will be on the call, and she'll be recording the numbers, and she kind of keeps up with the logistics for me. Cool. And then, I get her to help me because I couldn't do this without Pam.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think your mom knows Pam.
Pam Parrish. Yeah, we all know Pam.
Y'all know Pam. Okay.
Every Batman needs a Robin. So.
That's right. Every Elvis needs a Colonel.
So yeah, we'll get that out to you guys tomorrow with the animal test, and then come back next week. Be ready with your animal and be ready with some numbers from the
numbers. Yeah, that's what. So it'll be fun. I look forward to this call.
All right.
Y'all take care. It's good seeing everybody.
See you guys later. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
If you haven't recorded your numbers for tomorrow's sales meeting, go ahead and do so. Bye.
Good night.
We appreciate it.
Good night.
Very much. Good night.
Night.